All right, so look, you're going to have a quadratic pattern here. It's figure 1, 2, 3, 4 is given to you. You need to find figure 5, right? Because it says, assuming the pattern continues, draw the next figure in the sequence, right? Okay, so how many squares are at my base? No. How many, like, this is what I mean. The base is 1, here it's 2. So what did you say? So how many, for figure 5, how many boxes is my base? 5, right, okay. So I'll put 5 boxes as my base. That's 4, we'll do 5. And then it just decreases by 1, right? It's 1, 0, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 5, 4. Okay, so there's, assuming the pattern continues, draw the next figure in the sequence. Okay, so this has, so if we kind of make a chart, because as I was walking around, you guys had your chart. So I'm going to call it F of n. And by the way, if you call it X, Y, because you were going to graph, right, because they ask you to plot here, right? Okay, so I saw you guys had 1 was 1, 2 was 3, 3 was what? 6. How many is 4? 10. And 5 is what? 15. Okay, and then they say how many blocks will be in figure 10. So you can either draw all of them, or if you can figure out the pattern, right, with the chart, and we're going to kind of grow this chart. Yeah. Okay, and by the way, I'm going to put a 0 here. Okay, so look. And as with your chart, I could see from on your packet, you guys were putting arrows and you were writing what the growth was. So here you guys put +2, right? Here you did plus, how many? What do you say? What's the growth? 3. Yeah, you guys have it written down. Okay, what's the growth here? 4. And here? 5. Okay, so whether you're writing it here on the figures or if you get used to the chart, okay, and so now this is where the chart is kind of new to you. It's called first difference. And then this is where it becomes quadratic. There's a second difference. And that's how you know it's quadratic, and we'll get to this. Okay, so from 1 to 3, I got 2. From 3 to 6, I added 3. 6 to 10, added 4. And 10 to 15, I added 5, correct? Okay, so if you were to continue that growth, right, 6 would have how many? 21. 7 would have how many? 36. What else? I think I'm kind of off. 45. 55. Very good. Okay, so walking around, for those of you that had 55 as, oh, you can't. For those of you that had 55 for figure 10, how many squares or boxes? It was 55, right? So if the pattern is kind of eluding you, or you're just like, okay, I'm drawing it so bad, then grab a chart or just a sheet of paper and start writing your columns. This is a figure number. This is how many boxes there are. And this is the first difference. So when you guys are figuring out the growth from figure to figure, how many boxes is it increasing by or decreasing, right? This is what you have. Okay, see how the difference, this is not constant? See how it's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if you look at your linear, ooh, do I have papers here? I should. If you had, we did linear and exponential, you had a constant, I have exponential. Okay, so exponential, we had a constant of 4, right? So that difference, it's times 4, times 4, times 4. when we looked at the linear pattern, what's our first difference? Plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. It's constant. When your first difference is not constant, so this is not constant, that means it is not linear, and it is not exponential. Now it's going to end up being quadratic, but it could also be neither, right? We could just be giving you some random pattern. Okay, and so how do you prove that it is not, well, not that. How do you prove that it is quadratic? Look at your second difference. So now, looking at the change of difference from difference 1, what's the difference of the first difference? So from here to here, 2 to 3 is plus 1. 3 to 4 is plus 1. 4 to 5, 5 to 6. And so when your second difference, obviously you can keep going, but that's kind of it. When your second difference is constant, that is your cue that this is a quadratic pattern. Okay, so this is where it's mandatory. And I'll stop the video before I go into like the extra credit, or if you're like, I was thinking of honors, right? So I'll go into that. So this is where you're obligated to get to, is at least let us identify that, can you recognize whether it's linear, exponential, quadratic, and then eventually you'll get to neither. Just so the video doesn't just keep going, let me turn it off, and then I know it disappears, but then I'll have it come